Marion students, it's Mrs. Johnson. Second graders, you are going to be doing some volleyball skills coming up when you have physical education with Mr. Willingham, Mr. Parker, or myself. And so for your lesson this week, we would like you to practice these skills if you can. I have a volleyball, I have a little dodgeball, and I also have a playground ball. Any type of ball that's kind of soft at your house would work. If you don't have a ball, sometimes you can roll up socks to create a ball. You could give that a shot. We have a benchmark that we assess this year in second grade, and it is I can volley a ball tossed by a partner. So we're going to practice that in Phi-Ed, but to lead up to that, we're going to practice some of the things you need to be able to do to be a good partner. And the first one is just, you're going to start with the ball low, and I'm going to use my volleyball, and you're going to toss it and catch it. Toss it and catch it. Oh, sometimes that happens. And notice I'm catching it low at my waist, and we would like you to do the same. So we want you to watch it all the way past your eyes to your waist. Now I'm in one of the conference rooms in the new section of our building, and the ceiling is not very high, but that's perfect because when you do this, you want it to go over the net when we put up the net, but not as high as the basketball rim. So this ceiling is a perfect height. You don't want to toss it too high, you don't want to toss it too low. So we're going to have you do that, and if you could practice 10 of those, that would be great. Then, if you would like, you can do toss, and then you're going to let the ball come all the way down almost to your toes and try to catch it right before it lands on the ground. And this is important in volleyball because a lot of times those volleyball players have to get low and they need to dig the ball. So we're going to practice that. And I don't know if you know this, but Mr. Willingham happens to be the Lakeville South head volleyball coach, and they are having a season this year. So that's very exciting. I have learned how to teach volleyball to youth from Mr. Willingham. It's been super helpful for me. He's great. Okay, so we're going to try. I'll just do 3, and then you guys can pause the video and you can try to do 10 of them at home, but you're going to drop, bend your knees, and catch it low. I know you can't see me, but I didn't fall on the ground. I just bent my body down and I caught it low. Remember, you're starting here, up and down, toss, and catch low. Okay, the next one, we're going to give you a couple more challenges. Up and down, clap and catch. Up and down, clap and catch. Okay? It's not too bad, but hopefully you're able to do a nice up and down toss, and you're getting better at that. Because when we move on, you're going to need to be able to toss it to a partner. It's going to be important for you to be able to do a nice rainbow toss into the pot of gold. Okay, I got one more challenge for you. Second graders, it's up and down, clap. So you're going to clap in the front, you're going to clap in the back, and they're going to try to catch it. All right, up and down, toss and catch. If you have some other ideas of what you could do to practice your tossing and catching, let us know. Okay, we're going to move on from that, and we are going to do what we like to call a tap and catch, and this is what we use for a serve. And a serve in volleyball is how you put the game into play. It's important because if you can't serve the ball to the other team, they're going to score a point every round. So it's really critical that we learn how to do a serve. And so I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold the ball in my left hand, and I like to say it's like a golf tee, kind of at my waist. So the ball is on the tee. Turn my hand a little bit so I have a nice space here to make my fist. Now I'm going to make a fist, and I'm going to keep my thumb at the side, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up under the ball, and I'm going to tap it up, and then I'm going to catch it. And catch. And catch. Whoop! Sometimes they get away from you. But if you could do this at your house, that's great. If you have to use a smaller ball or something softer you have in your house, you can still practice the motion with whatever you have. Okay, so that's the tap and catch. That's the lead up for the serve, and we'll do the serve when you're in Phi-Ed. Okay, now I mentioned before that it's important to be able to make a good rainbow toss to your partner so that they are able to use their pass and make a pass in volleyball. So what we'd like you to do next is find a safe space in your house. I know I have chairs in here, there's a TV that you can't see, so I have to find a safe space too. But what we want you to do is we want you to practice, and maybe you could go outside if the weather warms up a little bit, You could get a laundry basket to do this into, or you could just maybe even put a pillow on the ground and the pillow is your target. But what we'd like you to do is we want you to up and down toss so it goes like a rainbow and then lands in the pot of gold. And the pot of gold when we practice this at school is going to be right in front of your partner's feet, because that's right where we want the ball to come down. So we want you to just practice up and down, toss. Remember, you're going to have to go higher than the net, but not too high. Up and down, toss into the pot of gold. Okay, so practice some up and down tosses, and maybe if you have a partner, sibling, a parent, or somebody, you could play with them. They could let it bounce before it comes to them, so you know where it lands, and then they could catch it. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, and maybe have you practice depending if you have a partner or not, but is the form for the forearm pass, or the bumper, what we use to do a volley. Now, if you look, I have my palms up and my thumbs out. I'm going to slide one hand on top of the other. I'm going to pinch my thumbs together like this, and I'm going to extend my arms out so they're straight. This makes a nice platform on your arms, and if your platform is flat and you're really extending out, hopefully the ball doesn't go in the wrong direction. It goes right where you want your pass to go. So I'm going to have you practice this form, and what we say in Phi Ed is the person with the ball says pass, the person receiving the ball says pass, then they say ready, I'm the tosser, I say ready, and mine. So we're going to say pass, pass, ready, mine. Pass, pass, ready, mine. And we just want you to practice getting your hands in that position, your thumbs together, so that when you come to Phi Ed, we are ready to work on our volleying and we can meet this benchmark. If you are fortunate to have the right equipment and a really good teammate, they could pass you the ball and you could try, or they could up and down toss you the ball, and you could try to pass it back. You can do it yourself. I find it to be a little more challenging, but if you want, you could do an up and down toss, and you could practice keeping the ball low and doing the volley to yourself. I bet if Mr. Willingham did this, he'd be a little better than Mrs. Johnson, but that's okay. I'm practicing my volleyball skills too. Haven't played since the 8th grade, but I feel like I've learned a lot and I'm able to teach you how to get better. So thank you for participating in this lesson and practicing all those lead-up skills, and we can't wait to see you in Phi Ed. There'll be a little response for you so you know, so we know that you completed your activity on Seesaw. Okay, hope you're having a great Wednesday, and we'll see you soon.